BoxSprints.com.
Minnesota and Houston are going to play a National Football League game on Sunday. What are your thoughts on Houston, Bob?
My thoughts on Houston is that much to the opposite of Minnesota, they have a more than efficient quarterback. And in this league, if you don't have that, you don't have Jack as far as I'm concerned. Matt Schaub, he's had his handful, his fair share of shaky starts this year, but for the most part, he's been an above-average quarterback, and he's been one of the main reasons that they have gotten to the winning record that they're at right now, which is a very impressive one. I also believe that Arian Foster has he hasn't had the best month of his career in December, but I believe he's poised for a big game going up against Minnesota defense that I think they kind of lost their identity from last year, and the receiving core in Houston is essentially it's Andre Johnson and Owen Daniels, but I believe that's more than enough playing against Minnesota.
Bob, I like your points that you're making about Houston. They're obviously a top team in the AFC. With a win, clinch home field advantage. But I want to talk about Minnesota.
Please do.
Because I know what you're saying about Christian Ponder. He really can't throw the ball down the field. I really don't think he has the targets to throw the ball down the field. Pretty much his receiving core is Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't have a lot of long pass patterns for your tight end. So I can see why his yards per game are down. But he has the most dynamic player in the NFL lining up behind him, and that is Adrian Peterson. This guy, 294 yards to break the all-time rushing record set by Eric Dickerson. He's definitely going to blow past 2,000 yards in this game. I don't think he has a chance to get that record in this game.
That'd be pretty insane.
It would be pretty insane. But I could see a 200-yard rushing game from him. Houston's defense is good, but I've seen Adrian Peterson slice through good defenses. And Houston's not something that is a top-tier, past 10 years, defense. Mm-hmm. I like Adrian Peterson in this game. I really do. I like the way that he's able to control the line of scrimmage. And I like Christian Ponder getting into a rhythm with play-action passes. I think that's going to be big because especially early, that Houston Texans defense is going to key on Adrian Peterson. You set up Ponder early with some play-action boots, get him the ball to Kyle Rudolph, try to get the ball down the field to Michael Jenkins, to a Jerome Simpson, see what happens. But I like the way that Minnesota's playing right now. Really took it to St. Louis last week. They are in this playoff hunt. They are the number 6 seed right now. If the season was to end today, they'd be in. They need to win because they got a tough game next week against the Green Bay Packers. I like Minnesota in this game over Houston.
It makes sense. The things you say make sense. Adrian Peterson, with the season he's been having this year, it's hard to bet against him. He is the only reason this team is anywhere near the record they're at right now. However, he's been playing at this level and putting up the amount of yards he's been putting up pretty much all year long. So to think that performance is going to set up a play-action pass for Christian Ponder now, when it hasn't been able to make it happen all year, I don't quite understand. I believe that Adrian Peterson will put up at least 140 minimum. 140 yards minimum for Adrian Peterson. That's just where the smart money is, and it's where it's been almost all year. But I don't think Houston gives up hardly anything through the air. I think they contain Adrian Peterson just enough, keep him under 180, less than maybe 2 touchdowns, and I think that'll be enough for them to exploit this Minnesota defense that, as I said before, doesn't seem to really have an identity. When their supposed top player, Jared Allen, his numbers and performances way down from last year. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but yeah, I don't see Minnesota going to Houston in a game where Houston has a lot to play for. Not that Minnesota doesn't, and getting a win. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one and go with Houston.
Jared Allen's gonna kill you.
Oh, what?
BoxSprints.com.